Hello and welcome. Today's date comes in that of Wednesday, 12th day of February, 2020. My name is Derek, and this is the Money Charts channel, where, like always, all bets, trades, and of the like, well, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk-reward management is always job number one, and my job is to protect and grow my portfolio, and I'm doing a pretty good job at it. Of course, when I realize I make mistakes here, okay, what can I learn from that? How can I move that on forward? Do all that type of stuff because, well, risk-reward management is job number one. I want to do the best I can within this trading game. Will we get this inverted head and shoulders pattern? Maybe not, meaning we're 2/3 of the way there. If, of course, you look at this as left shoulder, the head. I mean, we're at the neckline. I mean, we microscopically got by this, so we're at levels not seen since the start of the autumn or this fall, September of last year. I mean, if it goes like this, then that would be an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Meaning, if it corrects, I mean, it could come down 16%, and it's still at a nice higher low, even 20% down to here. And that's could. If we don't find resistance here, this thing is like I've been mentioning before. We got this previous little area in here between that of around 11,000, mid 11,000 change, up to about 13 or so, 13 and 5. But right now the bull market's in play. You can see in here just within this good candle ups, just a few grinding ones, decent size move on the 9th. 1 day correctionary play, but yesterday it's moved back, getting above all of its shorter term levels of resistance. And again, today's day highs not seen in a while, really pausing and holding in at the upper area for where it is, and we can see just how clearly and nice it looks amongst the single hour term time frame with all of this beautiful stuff. So many attempts. I talk about if it breaks above and all that type of stuff. Well, let's take a look at all the times it's done that. It's a few, 3 I can see. You got this one in here, the excitation of the 18, but it didn't work, successfully correcting. And then in here is trying to break above, nope, successfully correcting. And then really in here, this last period, trying to do it, we can see the 18 average of lows and a nice little move. This thing go up high, this thing would start to go. Breaking this level of resistance, that's, I'm not going to say game over, but game on, actually, game on. And this thing would be ready for a significant move. You'd see 10.6, 10.7, 10,800, maybe even go 11,000 in probably a quick period of time. You see how big this candle is. It was up 3.6% just that one. Those are the style of candles I'd be expecting on a break of resistance. On the weekly chart, I like how it's leaving the 18 like this. If we come up to here and resist, I'm going to be thinking, okay, this is the must-hold area for within it. If it comes up here, maybe it resisted and pulls it back. Maybe it resisted, stays there, and we wait enough time for the 18 to catch up, correction via that at time. And then breaking it above it is probably going to be a fast move up to near 20,000 and maybe even piercing above. Let's switch over to Bitcoin dominance. And this is a daily chart. This is kind of interesting how we can see how this has just been grinding. And in today's session, we've obviously clearly, we're getting a key low now. Lows and highs are after the fact known. This low is a key one, as is this one. All the ones in between are just highs and lows along the way. Well, now the key low is at least down to here. I'm probably going to go lower. We've had this lower high along the way, and maybe we come up and we find resistance and have a decent trend moving lower, and thus have counter trend rallies along the way. But this thing is very live to have potentially, I mean, we could have like large red candles that could just be like this in like a span of 1 to 5, 6, 7 days. And there's so many possibilities that can happen. And I'm seeing a lot of similarities overall within crypto markets from when I really got into trading originally, which was the into the late second, early third month of 2017 right now, where it looks like we could have some fantastic, good, more volatile, less, because it's been very dry in the crypto trading market, I've been noticing since the end of the April Fool's rally of 2018. So for the last close to year and 3/4 plus, it's been very dry, and I've seen the end of that. At least that's so it goes anyway. Well, things like, of course, like the H bar, which has just had phenomenal moves, going like 4 times higher in like a little over 24 hours. It's in at 600 Satoshi, and well, Yesterday's session, it was up 72.4%. Right now, it's up 81.2%. Already down over 200 points from its highs for the day, or exactly 200 points from its highs. It's 800 exactly being the top. So 2 divided by 8. Math class, easy, 25. Or 0.25. So 25% down from the highs. It's not that much. If this thing is going to top right here, then it's going to have to be... it's going to probably go down lower. But right now we're in a correctionary phase. And the last time it got within the 18, of course, it's amazingly succeeded. Because there we are in the 18 and up it went. Now here we are in here. This is period number 3, firmly inside of it on the single hour term. And if it fails this, then we talk about filling this empty space. And really a 61.8% correction. This thing got going at like 9 o'clock. It's I want to do some Fibonacci on here. I think it's probably the best thing. And really from this break at low in here. Let's just get the... Oh, I don't know the exact number on the high end is 800. So 9, let's just scroll back to see where this thing broke out from. So which number do I really got to think I got to use this low here at like 207. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go 800. It's basically going to be 4, but 800 divided by 207. And where is my keyboard? Hang on a second. I got it. Okay, so 800 and 207. Now we're going to look at the 76.4, and I haven't calculated this and seen it, but you're going to know the 76.4 is probably going to work out very well with the history we've had, and so just luck that it worked out very well. And maybe it doesn't, but 581 is that number. And then below that is 477. 581 is where we are pretty much at now. I'm going to push this. This is going to zoom this all the way to current. Boom. In fact, I just might as well just go to a different time frame. So I'll put some lines in. I like doing that. First line in is 581. And then the next line comes in at the 61.8, 477, which if this thing goes down any further from where it is, that's probably where it's going to find the support piercing below. And I'm just getting the exact number. There we go. And we'll put the 38. I won't put the 23 in because I don't think it's going to go there. It might though, but I'll look at it later if need be. I mean, we're just testing the 76.4 number now. 347 would be that next one. And I'll just keep these lines in and we'll see. I mean, I do that often, and usually they happen to work out pretty okay. That was a perfect hit on the 347. Don't need to edit that. So we can see in here that this downtrend has been stopped and neutralized, and it's only luck, but it found support at the 581 number that, I mean, whatever. I mean, it just happens to do it. We've established resistance short term at 617. So getting above that, noticing that it can hold, stay above in this area. Really support 611, 615, but test and stay and have a decent amount of time between 620 and about 650. If it can do that, that would just be like, okay, now this thing's ready to take off. And then if this comes up to this high, I mean, this is already in a major situation of extreme high volatility. We can see in here. So 3-hour time frame, 8-hour. To me, must hold area. I gotta think we just work on the Fibonacci here, the 61. So to me, 347 is the must hold, and whichever 18 average time frame coincides with it is the one that I'm going to be focusing on. And of course, if price action moves higher, it's no longer going to be 800 divided by 207. It's going to be what the new high is, 900, 1000, 1200. Because when these things go in these modes, these things can have immaculate moves. If we take a look at this. Just for myself on the ratio trading, this is all the coins that I crossed together. I got this sorted by top gainers, and at least here, 40%, 42. Everything's 40% down because Hadar Hashgraph is having all of these fantastic gains. We can see here on the 8-hour time or the daily chart here. It's like a complete kind of crash, but the volatility is what I'm looking for. This goes from like 1400 up to 54 earlier today, down to as low as 1,000 up to 1264. And when I make these buys, I mean, I don't want to buy this back until this goes to like good gains, because I can get more profitability, and this is exactly what I'm looking for as a trader. Now let's go into Litecoin itself, and it's got a damn good setup. I mean, if you're in the business of trying to find, okay, I want to find something that's got a high probability of going up, looks like it's going to go up soon, just amazing setup, here you have it. I mean, a lot of the cryptos, I mean, it looks like the entire market space is just going to be phenomenal from this point on for probably several weeks moving forward, even a few months. Hopefully like a 9, 10, 12, 16 month period, but we'll see how time works on it. But at least as of now, it looks like this thing is breaking from this 18. And as I mentioned yesterday, this resistance coincides with all this area that we have a lot of this empty space. And let's do some Fibonacci again, because you know what? It's fun to do. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do it from this high to this low. So we have a high in here. Let me just get what the exact number is. So this high, it says 1894. We'll round it to 1894 handle. And then we'll get the low. Which is one of these days in here. I guess you could pick one of them. That's pretty much all around the same, as long as you're in the same ballpark area. 548, 549. So 548 will do. Okay, so 23.6 is the first one, and of course, yada yada. If it happens to be like doing its thing at that level, it's only luck. And I haven't even looked at what these results are going to give me. 734 handle, which is, you can see here, it didn't resist it. I mean, this is even more reason now to state why this is just going to be going up now. I mean, come on, that's not fair. I mean, it's not fair the fact that it's just so easy when I say that. Let's put a fib line in that. So 734 handle. I mean, it doesn't, 734. Okay, there's the first one. Next one is the 38.2. So if we get above that, we'd be looking for a price target to the 88 handle. And we can see that we're still decently away from it. So that looks to me like that's where we're heading to, and that's 880. And then above that, the 61.8% mark would be 1179 handle. There we have it. And when we take a look at this now a little bit, let's say the shorter term, say maybe the 15. We can see that when it came up to this Fibonacci point originally, it resisted it very nicely. I mean, extremely nice in here. First it pierced below, then it pretty much hit exactly, then it pierced extra, stayed within this, had a nice little upward consolidation as it had an excitation on the final day of January. It had its move, and then the level that was resistance became support. First hitting support on February 1st after piercing above it on 2 occasions before. And then after a sustained time going higher, but not much of a gain, really just piercing above previous high, and a long sustained time of a few lower lows, really 3. We have this pierce lower from February 4th in the morning, but then leaving it that afternoon. A piercing above here, almost, but not even close on this low. Same thing here on the February 7th lows. Close here. It's been really supporting it really weird, I would say, because usually I say it's only luck it does these things. Well, technically it is kind of unusual that it pierces above it like this, but it might be a telltale sign that this thing is just ready to go off. And As you can see, as it left this move in here on early this morning, just a fantastic move highlighted by 1:30 to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, having this good move. So far, holding and staying above this 18, getting above. You see it at the 79.4, getting up to that 8 handle, like 7.9 high. All this thing, of course, would be probably ready for significantly nice moves. Now let's talk about Tezos. I set a target of 4,000 on this, and that's not where it got up to today, 34.51. And usually these numbers I talk about are pretty good. And when I talk about that, I usually hear piercing extra on it as well. If not, I mean, it is exact psychology. It literally could be the exact number, as we've seen with the 800 Hedera exact high today. But it just seems that a lot of cryptos' lows and highs can be exact numbers against Bitcoin. It's extremely common. But anyway, we'll see how this one ends up going. This was obviously a successful correction, and this has been just a fantastic move above this 18 average, leaving it in February. So for this 2 weeks, it's just been a great run. We've seen it go from 60, and it's pretty much doubled from this low. From this low in here, 900, it's now went up about almost a 4x move, about a 4x move, even a bit better than it. Yeah, it's got to correct at some point, 61.8%. So we've been doing Fibonacci. Let's do some more of it. What's this low right now? This low is 1487, 1478. So that's what we'll go with, is 1478 for the low. And the high that I just put in so far, and if it breaks the high, you have to redo it again, which is for when the retracement happens. But if it's ready to do it now, I'm going to have my numbers ready to go. 34.72 is the high. So the first one would be 76.4 at 28.38. And of course, we're not even talking about making these moves right now because it hasn't even been anywhere near that. But I'll put it in just in case. And again, if it goes to a new high, it's just a matter of re-entering these numbers, just removing the lines and putting new ones in. 61.8 comes in at 25.05. And the 38.2% down move, if of course it has that large of a correction, would come in at 2,048. So as we can see this say, let's just even go to the 4-minute, just get onto today's action, that the correction that we've had has pretty much been a 15% correction, 15.4, because that's the one before 23.6. I'm not going to calculate it, but the X is, if you want to get a calculator, it would be 3472 divided by 1478, which is about 2.3, 2.4ish, to the root of 50.4 would be 0.846, to the root of 0.846. Multiply the low of 1478 will give you a number somewhere probably around 3050ish or so. Because that usually appears as extras, so I'm going to have to say that it's not the exact 3028, although maybe it is. Either way, if this is, because it established short term this level of support here at 3 p.m. at the 33,000 handle. From that point, it had all this few lower highs, not getting above the newly declining and severely large declining 18. It retested this low again, but since then it managed to get above the 18 and then now in here. So it's enough to at least flatten out to correction move the market. But when you talk about ultimate failed breakouts, what a great move it's been so far to get to this 2 a.m. high of 3,200, near 33. And what a beautiful correction. But to have this breakout occur at 11 o'clock in the morning all the way up to close to 2. And just, you have a noticeably good move, not too big, not too small, just right, which I pretty much deem this as. If this fails, and right now it's already broken down below that must-hold area and leave the key low, but the must-hold area would have been this level of resistance, 61.8% from this low, so you would have been in the area of about 3,200, which obviously not supporting and resisting that general area. So now we're seeing this to be that failed breakout. Okay, does this tell me and indicate that this run that we are having is over for now? And in a bull market, oh my goodness, we've got some of this stuff. Well, now we can test some of these areas, and maybe it comes down to either the 28 or 2,500 level, and that just an area would see if there'd be some possible support or not. But because of that failed breakout in here, when you see that, that's just so typical. That could be an indication that we could have some serious decline. I mean, it can come down to 25. Here we are sitting at 3,000. That's a loss of even 600 points. That'd be 20% more from here. But within the crypto game, the volatility is supposed to be very much expected. And well, it's growing, and I like how it's moving right now because volatility pays for me. Now let's move on to Ripple, and I don't know when I put these lines in. I just clicked on it, and it's like, come on, how does it do this? Like literally, 29. I don't know when I put this line in, but this just a few hours ago hit this high, and look at this 27.44 support. It's just luck that it keeps doing it. But I mean, why am I gonna find other ways of trying to calculate key levels when these Fibonacci points just work out so well? As the daily chart looks for Ripple, you're looking for a damn good setup. Here we go. Here it is. Today's excitation day. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 4, 5, 6 days, Ripple's noticeably above 3,400 Satoshi, or we're looking in line for 13-15% gain. As we can see, this is like an ultimate failed breakdown going down on the move on December 16th through that of December 19th. It goes down below here, this level of major support here from the October, a few times here, where we stand now near 3,000. Well, here's that failed breakout in here, but it successfully corrects. Another chance to get it above here with like 2, 3, 4 chances getting above the highs, doesn't do it. And then it has this little failed breakdown here, but it has no problem getting above the 18 average of highs on the first couple of days of February. Resists this level in here, supports this, supports the 18, comes back to where it comes from, leaving the 18 as this is set up. Now, especially now getting above the 3,000, like 33, 30, 36. But mostly, if you see it at like 30, 73 and higher, man, this thing, again, it'd be like high confirmation of not only that it would go to 32, 34, who knows above that, but probably pretty darn near quick as well. And we'll finish it off within Gigabyte, and interesting, it had it up, it looked like it was ready to go in here. We have this break above the 18. It fails to hold this mustard. And I'm seeing a lot of these little fake moves just like this again. It has an attempt, it doesn't hold the must hold area. It either holds the previous support or has its failed breakdown. This one was failed breakdown. And now we can see at the 18 average of highs how it didn't resist it. We've showing a lot of strength in here. And over the last couple of days, breaking by this short-term level of resistance, this one looks poised to get going. Next previous highs about 85, but getting above that, we got level near 92 to really 100, 99 here. Then breaking out above that, we're talking like, yeah, there's just a lot of key areas, but the bottom line is there's just a lot of empty space, and this thing has been wild in the past. I mean, yeah, it got up to 450. No, it got up higher. It got up to 700. No, it got up higher than that. It got up to, I mean, this is the type of volatility that we talk about. It's something that if you can find ways of profiting, there's just a lot of ways of profiting within it. Mathematically, I think my way works pretty good. More information box for how I trade. It's in every single video. It's just easy for me to save it that way. And it's free information. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.